I was talked into doing OnlyFans by my ex. And, you know, like, it was cool for the first couple of years, but now it's like, I have to keep doing it.
It got nothing to do with him. Yeah, he gave you the idea, but he didn't force you to do it. And now you're saying that you're trapped? You do not have to send pictures of you put bananas in your vagina for nobody. You wake up every day and you choose to do that because you make great money.
Rubi Rose said you need to make $5 million a year to date her.
Come on, man.
You wish that people didn't see you as just a sex symbol?
I mean, like I do, but also I don't care that much because I'm like, you know, making millions of dollars and my real life is really amazing.
She cute, huh? She's fine, huh?
Not $5 million fine.
What's up? This bruh, man, from the fifth floor. I just want you to know that you watching You Just Got Juiced reactions. Don't forget, you got the juice now.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy You Just Got Juice, and we are back at it again with another reaction video. I know I'm coming out with a lot of videos in one day, but I'm off today. I gotta upload as much as I can because when I go to work, I'll be tired when I get off. So woke up this morning, I took my girlfriend to work, and I was scrolling on YouTube, and then I seen this interesting story that I wanted to share with y'all. And I don't really post that much Tasha K stuff because Tasha K stuff is more so, in my eyes, not actual facts, but in this case right here, she was actually speaking some knowledge. So I wanted to drop this truth bomb with y'all and share it with y'all, and then I wanted to get y'all opinions on this. And let's get started.
So, wasn't gonna talk about this child, but when I saw her up here spewing dangerous rhetoric, I had to step in the conversation. I really did. Okay, there's already enough toxic masculinity stuff going around, but then, you know, I speak for the females in this situation because, you know, these are the type, Rubi Rose, in my opinion, after you watch these videos, and I'm gonna make my point here, is, and I hate to say this, now Cassie Cassie did not deserve to get her ass whooped at all. Okay, nobody deserves to get hit on, beat on, or anything like that. But Cassie was a willing participant in those orgies. Okay, there was a lifestyle that Cassie was after. It was a nice lifestyle. I did hear from sources that she even threw it up in Kim Porterface.
So like when I hear stories like that, I always think about the girls or the women I see that be in bad relationships. They know they're getting cheated on or they're getting abused on, but they always stay around. And then I remember even when I was young, I used to like question like older women. I'm like, why you around this guy if he doing X, Y, and Z to you? And then the majority of the reasons is going to be either A, for money, B, because of the sex, C, low insecurities, or D, all of the above. And then sometimes just because, man, they lazy and then they don't want to work or, you know, or get stuff on their own. So when it comes to that Cassie situation, you know, like I said, if you're grown, you can always say no, you can always leave, you can always call the police. You know, sometimes they be like, I'm afraid for my life. Again, it's like, these people ain't, I mean, it ain't, it's not the mafia or nothing, bro. Just regular ass people, bro.
Okay, when he had, you know, even though her and Kim did become friends before that, you know, she was a new girl, she was this, she was that, she was the one on top. He had them beefed her head up like she was gonna be that girl. But when he started treating her the same way he treated all of his other girls, that's when she woke up and started to mend and started to build relationships with the women that were already in his life, because she realized that she had to get out. And then she tried to warn other girls too to not mess with him, like Lori Harvey. She had got into it with Lori. She had got into it with Gina and stuff like that. And then they come back years later and, they try to sue for it, okay? I just think Cap, she should have got half, not the full amount, because, the thing about it was, like, she was in charge of the orgies and stuff like that. And so to go back and try to blame someone for manipulating you and taking advantage of you when you were definitely over.
But she probably sued for the emotional stress, because if take away the sex part, like, who knows what else he was putting her through. So, people just focus on that video and the sex. And like I said, it's other things, that people do that could have a mental effect on you,
over age, and you were in charge. And I've spoken to a lot of the male prostitutes, and they said that they got the calls from her, and she chose who she wanted to lay down with. She participated. She even, basically, forced them to do what he wanted, because this is what turned him on. She was in the business of pleasing her man. Okay? No, domestic violence is not hilarious. Stop. Okay. So when Rubi Rose decided to sit down with Bobbi, that awkward white girl, and tell a story that I thought was very, very dangerous, I said, I'm going to have to speak up on this, okay? Because, you'll get beautiful girls like her. She's absolutely gorgeous. I believe that she could do anything that she puts her mind to, not body, but mind. And she can dominate in whatever that is, okay? But when you'll see these girls get into these lifestyles, and so she was, with DDG, who was already a streamer for quite some time, and when they fall in love with these men and they're the same age, it's not like DDG was a Diddy or anything like that, and it's not like he's a perfect man out here, but he had suggested something to her. He didn't put a gun to her head, but for her to sit down and tell Bobbi this, go.
Mama Dump is, I was talked into doing OnlyFans by my ex, and it was cool for the first couple of years, but now it's like I have to keep doing it too, so I kind of relate to you in that way, and it's just definitely put a damper on my reputation, but it's a choice I made, and I'm just gonna stick it out.
Yeah, that's a wild comment to say, and it comes off like he forced you to do it or something like that. And then it seems like she's not trying to take accountability for her decision on agreeing to do it. And I say this because me and my partner now, when we started in OnlyFans back in 2020 when the pandemic started, and a lot of people think OnlyFans is just sex and stuff like that, and it's really not. It's really just like a Twitch or a Kick or Instagram, but you have no restrictions on there, and you can make money off it. So people do use it for sex and stuff like that. But the reason why me and my girlfriend have a OnlyFans is because my girlfriend was a dancer back in the day. So this was before I met her. But I think she had just stopped dancing a year or two before I met her, and then we got together, moved in, then the pandemic hit, and then we both ain't had no job. So I remember we was talking one day, and we was watching how all these people was making money on OnlyFans. I'm like, well, shit, both of your parents gone, and then my mother's gone. So it's not like we're gonna be disappointing anybody. So hey, you wanna do some content together and see what we could do. Long story short, we made a couple of $100, but it wasn't nothing crazy. I think the most we made in a month was $300 or $400, but it was enough to help us get through our bills. And we wasn't really doing it to be rich. We were just trying to survive. And then also we wasn't really doing a lot of sex stuff. It was just more so of her just wanted to still dance, but not be at the club. because she's Jamaican and man, she like to perform and dance, and it's just in her blood. So I was like, well, I'll put the poll up at home, and then you could just like do live scenes on OnlyFans, and then you can still kind of get tipped that way. So it was kind of like she's able to still have like kind of do the things that she loved to do, and then still kind of make a profit for it. So it was a good idea and stuff like that. But since COVID, since things got back to regular, like we barely be on there. Like we still got it, but like man, we barely use it. So I say all that because man, we talked about it and we sat down, and again, it was something that we both agreed on. And then if I would have been like, I don't feel comfortable with her doing that, then like man, she wouldn't have did it, and then we wouldn't have had no OnlyFans. So man, when I hear this story about Rubi Rose and DDG, which I barely know these people, but but the story resonates with me. So when she say that, it's like again, she's not taking no accountability on her, and it seems like she's trying to escape all this to make it seem like, hey, I'm not this type of female. So when she do find somebody like later on down the road, that she could be like, well, hey, my ex-boyfriend made me do this. And I remember she did something like this with Drewski. I think she tried to make it seem like he was tricking on her or they wasn't in a real relationship. But they actually was, because like I think they went to school together and stuff like that. So it's like she lied, and then she came back to retract them statements. So it's like she got like a track pattern with this, not taking accountability. So I just wanted just to showcase this, because like again, like Tasha, like if Tasha's saying that, then I'm like, damn, like you got to appreciate her for calling out this BS. And then and the guys, if it's any guys that's watching this, be careful, like man, who y'all sleep with, man. Like just because she's pretty in the face don't mean she's pretty in here and stuff like that, man. Like y'all gotta stop going for these looks, bro. Cause these looks will be the ones that get you in trouble and start trying to put lies on your name and stuff like that, bro.
One more time, Jasmine, one more time. So basically what she's saying is that DDG, the reason she does OnlyFans is she makes a ton of money, over $1 million a month. Okay?
And then if she making that much, and then she complaining about like she has to do it, you don't have to do shit. I'm sorry, excuse my language. You don't got to do nothing no more now, because you like after you made that first meal, like what are you spending your money on that you got to keep doing it? So you must be addicted to the money. Again, like give me $1 million right now. I'm gonna learn how to stretch that and flip it if I don't got to never work a day in my life. Like, come on, man. The average person makes between 55 to 65,000 a year. So you do the math, man. Like, if you can't, like, come on, bro.
And she has a clothing line also. I believe it's like a clothing panty line or something, but she's doing very well, okay? And so she's very known on social media for her OnlyFans content, for her provocative content. And she's somehow been able to build other revenue streams doing that. But for her to sit down and tell Bobbi this right here, the reason she's doing it is because DDG made her.
Mama Dump is, I was talked into doing OnlyFans by my ex. And, like it was cool for the first couple of years, but now it's like, I have to keep doing it too. So I kind of like relate to you in that way. And it's just like, definitely like put a damper on my reputation. But, it's a choice I made and I'm just gonna stick it out.
That's dangerous. That's a dangerous comment. And I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Because DDG had to respond because people are calling him, oh, you trafficking, oh, you pimping, you doing all of this, okay? And this is what it looks like. It's not like somebody came to her house, manipulated her, coerced her.
And then you know why people are saying that? Because people already don't like the guy because he dated the other girl, that Holly Haley Belly. So once they put these so-called black queens on a pedestal like Beyonce, Halle Berry, anybody else with that good girl type, and then a guy come mess them up, the females in the internet comments are always going to try to slander the guy's name. Like remember when Jay-Z was accused of whatever, and they was like, oh, Beyonce this and that. It's just the internet is a wild place, and I don't recall it being like this back. Like I don't like before the internet. like was females doing stuff like this back in the B2K days and back in the Destiny Child days and stuff like that? Like when people used to read those Word Up magazines and the Source, like do people still have the same reactions and stuff like this to the animosity towards celebrities and that they're people wrong? So like, how did people feel like my Puff Daddy did that stuff to Jennifer Lopez in the club? Like, do people hate him? Because again, it's just like I never get why people be so fascinated with these celebrities, man. And they began so passionate about it.
And made her sell her ass for him. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. It's like these girls have a hard time trying to accept that this is the option that you chose to do. You did it. You're making a ton of money from it. And now you want to blame him because there is this side of it that's kind of like, I don't really think that's professional. You're better than this. Why are you?
And again, that's the stigma I'm talking about. But in her case, you are an internet, whatever the hell you are, I don't know. Because half the time these people just getting famous over the internet, but you good. So for you to try to be in the business world, that don't matter because you're not the average type of person. So that's not the reason why she's worried about doing OnlyFans. She's probably worried about because everybody gonna think she a hoe. Because it's just a stigma behind it, you know?
Are you stupid to this level? So it's her not taking accountability for her choice. Her
But also, I'm not sure what type of content she's doing though.
body, her choice, okay? And so when DDG responded, go ahead. Now, I don't even like this little boy here, but I'm with him. I'm on his side when he say this. Let's go.
But you know, it's a choice I made, and
It ain't got nothing to do with me. Like,
right.
what? Like, she made it sound like I'm a. Now I can see if was getting a cut.
Exactly.
But if you making $800,000 a month,
right?
The hell? You better keep doing that shit. He said like it was a bad thing. Mm-hmm. That's how much of a real I am. I'm like, you know what? I see how people look at you on the internet and shit, boom. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you should do it, even though I'm with you at the time. Like, I wasn't really tripping, you feel me? I'm like, a nigga wasn't on no, oh, I can get you turned up, sign a contract. It was never on that. It was just on some like, you should take advantage of this. It became a multi-million-dollar thing for you that I never asked for a penny for. So how is it a bad thing? I didn't talk you into doing nothing. You can stop whenever you want.
Sure can.
I thought it was player of me, but I guess it's a trauma thing. That don't make no sense.
I thought it was player of me too, player.
Here's what I'm going to say about this, because I agree with him. It's not like he's getting a cut. It's not like he's trafficking you. And this happens a lot with these girls that get with these streamers that already have public, platforms. And when somebody sees your potential, right? And they say, hey, I think you should do this because there's nothing else you can do right now that can yield the type of money that you need. You should go out and do this. And you chose to do it. That ain't got nothing to do with him. Yeah, he gave you the idea, but he didn't force you to do it. And now you're saying that you're trapped? You got other ways to make money. You got an internet, you got followers. Ain't nobody asking. Listen, you do not have to send pictures of you putting bananas in your vagina for nobody. You wake up every day and you choose to do that because you make great money. And if you ask me, he saw the potential and the only potential that you had at the time, and it's paying off. And that's why you got a clothing line. I hate when these young girls get out here and trying to act like they ain't got no accountability for your choice. I done been with plenty men in the past. Plenty men, okay? All of them said I had good stuff, but ain't nobody suggested. Maybe somebody did suggest that I sell it, but did I sell it? No. Nobody put no gun to my head. This is not trafficking. And she can stop anytime she wants to stop. Lack of accountability. I want to make the guy look bad. I don't want to take self-responsibility. So when she got out here talking shit about Drewski too, Drewski just got put in a lawsuit saying he was over there at the Diddy party. Could have been doing anything. We don't
It's funny. I made a video about that, and it was like a 50-minute video. It was details. Man, that story was crazy. I'll kind of sum it up for you, and if you want to watch it or hear the details, I'll link it right here. Matter of fact, but sorry. Long story short, man, he set some girl up. He was chilling with some girl, and then Diddy walked in. I guess the girl was talking trash about Diddy on the phone, but she was joking about it. And then Diddy ain't forget, he walked up in the house, and then they did some foul things to her. But Adele Beckham was involved in that story along with Drewski. And then but people ain't talking about that story though. And I wonder, it's just weird. But when I heard it, I said it probably makes sense why he likes studs a lot. But I'll drop that right there if y'all want to go take a listen to it.
I don't know what he was doing at the Diddy boy. I know he got a lot of ass that Diddy would like. So I'm trying to figure out what his fat ass doing up over there anyway, dying as hell, bending over and things. And he already spending the night with Consent and stuff. So, it's a boys club, right? But here's the thing. So when she was with Drewski, she pretty much did the same thing that she did to DDG. And I'm just seeing a pattern with these girls out here, just like them little white girls who was talking about last week, who were sending pictures to companies that were profiting off of their pictures. And as soon as they turn 18, they want to sue the company for exploiting them, but you sent the pictures in. Oh my God. And they still out here sending pictures. These little boys better be, I got a son, so I'm putting them up on all game. I'm sorry. I am not, y'all can call me male identified, but I got a son and I got a daughter, and I put them up on both, okay? I put them up on both. But when she got out here trying to make Drewski sound like he was thirsty and needed a woman because she was mad that he embarrassed her.
Yep, and then cause man, that's the first time that I recall ever hearing her name. Cause before that, I was like, who the hell is Rubi Rose? So honestly, I only know her for dating Drewski. I mean, me personally, and again, I don't really be on the internet like that, and I don't be following all that stuff. So again, and then so.
Talking about, he paying for me, he doing all of this. Knowing I knew personally that she was sleeping and laying down with Drewski, but it just didn't look good for the brand. It didn't look good that he had ended things with you, and you're supposed to be one of the most beautiful women of Instagram times right now. Look at what she got. I'm telling you, just be lying out here. Go. Play the video.
Like the public. Okay. So I guess here's the honesty moment.
Oh,
you know this.
yeah, I know.
Okay, me and Drew were really in a relationship, and I said it was PR because he pissed me off and hurt my feelings. So yeah, but that was really lame of me and embarrassing that I shouldn't have said that. But it was like I had to stand on it. But it's in the past now, and we're friends and we're cool still. And we've known each other for like 10 years, like since high school type. It's like we're always gonna be friends. So I just want to clear it up because he was really bothered by that.
Please warn your sons. Please warn your sons. This is what you call vindictive. This is what you call I'ma spin the block. I'ma spin the narrative. Make sure I get my way. Sympathy, payola, whatever it is that I need, so I don't have to take self-accountability. And when I do decide to settle down and get married, all of this was not my fault. You ever seen a woman that feels like, she's beautiful, she got everything, but she could be doing more, but she's too lazy to do it. So she ends up doing, what she feels like she has to do in order to put money, food on the table and stuff like that. And then they want to make others feel as if you talked them into doing it, but really they just lack a self-accountability or just lack self-drive. Like, this is her. And there's a lot of them out here. Gen Z is on the loose. I'm telling you. Y'all better warn your kids. Be careful out here.
Yeah, that's what I said. She don't want to take. It's no accountability in that, man. And again, that was the decision both of y'all made at the time that they was dating and stuff. So I don't know, man. But like I said, you just if guys, be careful who y'all sleep with. And women, don't let no guy make you feel as though you got to do anything. If you feel as though you got to do anything because a guy tell you that, then he's not the one for you. And with that being said, we are out, and I will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And tune in again.